Intermittent fasting has captured widespread attention over the past decade as a promising approach to weight management, metabolic health, and even longevity. Advocates point to improvements in insulin sensitivity, reductions in inflammation, and enhanced cellular repair mechanisms as clear benefits of time-restricted eating patterns. However, recent research has revealed that while fasting can be highly beneficial, it may also interact in complex ways with hormone cycles, particularly those involving cortisol, thyroid function, and reproductive hormones. These findings invite a closer look at both the potential trade-offs and the nuanced advantages that intermittent fasting can offer, and they underscore the importance of approaching fasting in a way that supports overall health rather than creating stress for the body. Cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, plays a crucial role in regulating metabolism, sleep-wake cycles, and energy balance. Fasting introduces a mild form of physiological stress, and studies suggest that cortisol levels can rise during fasting periods. Some researchers have observed that cortisol spikes in the morning may become more pronounced for individuals practicing intermittent fasting, particularly when fasting windows extend into the late morning or early afternoon. While elevated cortisol is often viewed negatively, it is important to recognize that in controlled amounts, this temporary increase may enhance alertness, focus, and mental clarity during the fasting window. The body's stress response is not inherently harmful. Rather, it reflects an adaptive mechanism that helps mobilize energy when food is not immediately available. When fasting is paired with sufficient hydration, adequate sleep, and nutrient-rich meals during eating periods, the body can often recalibrate quickly, and the transient cortisol rise may actually support metabolic flexibility, allowing the body to switch efficiently between fuel sources such as glucose and fat. Thyroid hormones, particularly triiodothyronine, T3, and thyroxine, T4, are central regulators of metabolic rate and energy expenditure. Some studies have noted that prolonged or very low-calorie fasting can lead to modest reductions in T3, which may initially sound alarming. Yet these changes often represent a normal, adaptive response rather than a dysfunction of the thyroid gland itself. The body naturally adjusts thyroid activity in response to shifts in energy availability to conserve resources, and these adjustments are typically reversible. When intermittent fasting is practiced with care, ensuring adequate intake of protein, micronutrients, and healthy fats during feeding windows, thyroid hormone levels remain within healthy ranges for most people. In fact, the temporary modulation of thyroid activity may even contribute to longer-term metabolic resilience, enhancing the body's ability to manage weight and regulate blood sugar effectively. By carefully balancing fasting and feeding periods, individuals can harness these metabolic benefits while supporting the normal rhythms of thyroid hormone activity. Reproductive hormones, particularly estrogen and progesterone in women, are also sensitive to energy intake and fasting patterns. Some research has suggested that highly restrictive or prolonged fasting may alter menstrual cycle regularity or ovulation frequency in susceptible individuals. However, this effect is not universal and appears to depend heavily on the length and intensity of fasting, overall nutrient intake, and baseline hormonal balance. Moderate, time-restricted fasting that respects the body's caloric and micronutrient needs generally does not disrupt reproductive health. On the contrary, some studies suggest that fasting can enhance insulin sensitivity and reduce chronic inflammation, which indirectly supports reproductive hormone balance. For individuals with metabolic syndrome, polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, or other hormone-related conditions, intermittent fasting, when approached thoughtfully, may even improve hormonal function over time. The key lies in personalizing fasting windows and pairing them with nutrient-dense meals that provide sufficient vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats, which are essential for hormone production and regulation. Beyond individual hormone systems, intermittent fasting has broader implications for overall endocrine health and long-term wellness. It has been shown to enhance cellular repair processes, including autophagy, which removes damaged cellular components and may reduce the risk of chronic disease. Fasting also affects circadian rhythms and can synchronize metabolic processes with natural light-dark cycles, potentially improving sleep quality and energy regulation. Importantly, the adaptive nature of the endocrine system means that the body can often tolerate mild, temporary disruptions in hormone levels without long-term consequences, provided that the fasting strategy is balanced and sustainable. One of the most encouraging aspects of this research is that intermittent fasting does not require extreme restriction to be effective. Time-restricted eating schedules, such as 12 to 16-hour fasting windows, can provide meaningful metabolic benefits while minimizing potential stress on hormone systems. Shorter fasting periods or flexible schedules that align with an individual's lifestyle, activity level, and circadian rhythms are often sufficient to improve insulin sensitivity, support weight management, and enhance cognitive function. By listening to the body's signals, such as fatigue, mood changes, or menstrual cycle alterations, individuals can adjust fasting routines to maintain both hormonal balance and overall wellness. This flexibility makes intermittent fasting not a rigid prescription, but rather a tool that can be adapted to suit individual needs, health goals, and life circumstances. Ultimately, the emerging evidence underscores a broader truth. Intermittent fasting is not a one-size-fits-all practice. While it has undeniable benefits for metabolism, energy regulation, and cellular health, its effects on hormones are highly individualized. By approaching fasting thoughtfully, ensuring adequate nutrient intake, aligning eating windows with natural circadian patterns, and remaining attuned to the body's responses, individuals can harness the advantages of intermittent fasting without undermining hormone balance. In fact, these findings highlight the remarkable adaptability of the human endocrine system and suggest that, when practiced intelligently, intermittent fasting can serve as a supportive strategy for long-term health, resilience, and vitality. Rather than a source of concern, the nuanced interplay between fasting and hormone cycles provides an opportunity for personalized nutrition, lifestyle optimization, and deeper understanding of how the body responds to periods of energy restriction, ultimately promoting sustainable well-being.